Hey friends, today I'll tell you a story that will make your hair stand on end about how a guy, let's call him Lucas, lost $400,000 and another 24,000 euros just to make life even tougher. And at the same time, he became the star of a real theatrical spectacle where he was the only audience member and an unwilling actor. Let's dive in. Lucas is not the type of guy to back down easily. He deals with importing luxury cars from Europe. Porsche, Mercedes AMG, BMW M Series, cars that make car enthusiasts drool. His business is more than just delivery, it's an entire scheme. He has a client base, investors who sometimes chip in, and a ton of connections. The profits? Huge! But as it turns out, the risks are not for the faint of heart. One day, he gets a call from someone with an Italian number. Speaking perfect English with a slight accent, the man introduces himself as Antonio and says, "I heard you're reliable. I want a brand new Porsche 911 from Germany. It's for my wife. I want to surprise her. I'm in Milan right now, but let's get the process started so that by the time I get back to Paris, the car will be waiting for me." Lucas does the math. With customs, fees, and delivery to Paris, the car will cost $470,000. Antonio says, "No problem, bro. Let's start. The down payment is 10% of the German price, then 15% after the car is bought, and the rest in Paris when I pick it up." They agree to meet in a fancy business center in central Paris. Where else, with that much money involved? Lucas gets ready. But on the day of the meeting, Antonio disappears. When Lucas calls, Antonio answers, "Sorry, bro, force majeure. Direct flights from Italy to Paris are a nightmare, but I'm still in. Let's handle things remotely. My niece Sofia will sign the contract. I'll send her details. And I can send the 24,000 euros as a down payment right now." Lucas thinks it over and agrees. He signs two contracts, one with Antonio, formerly with Sofia, and another with a guy named Marco, who handles all the logistics. Marco was from the team that transports cars across borders, customs them, and handles the drops, people on whose names cars are registered to simplify the process. Now the question, what's Lucas's role in this? Well, Lucas is the investor. He puts up his own money to make everything work. Antonio doesn't want to pay 100% upfront, and Marco and his crew aren't ready to risk their own money. Lucas is the link that makes the deal possible. So Lucas hands Marco $220,000 in Paris, right in a suitcase, just like in the movies. Marco goes to a crypto exchange, converts the cash, and sends it to his people in Germany to buy the Porsche. The car is bought, delivered to Brussels, and is sitting at a temporary storage warehouse. Lucas is already rubbing his hands together, but then Antonio calls. "Where's my car?" Lucas says, "It's at the customs warehouse. We're clearing it. Time for you to send the 15%. Antonio says, "15%? Forget that. I'll pay the full amount right now. I'll come to Brussels, check the car, and we'll settle up. Then you can bring it to Paris." He says the date, time, and place. Everything's clear. Lucas heads to Brussels. Marco's there, but Antonio is nowhere to be found. Antonio calls. "I'm in London, dealing with real estate. But don't worry, buy the car, I'll send a 15% soon, and we'll settle up in Paris." Lucas scratches his head, but agrees. The car's there. The paperwork is in order. He tells Marco, "All right, let's stick to the plan." Marco nods and takes out the contract and says, "Lucas, we've done our part. The car's at customs. Sign the document stating you have no claims." Lucas, unaware of any trickery, signs. Marco leaves, and a couple of days later he calls, "I'm out of the picture. From now on, Lorenzo will handle everything in Brussels and deal with the delivery to Paris. Good luck." And here's where the real circus begins. Lorenzo sets up a meeting, but not to discuss how to get the Porsche. Instead, he says, "Lucas, you owe us 40,000 euros. Lucas almost chokes on his coffee. For what? Turns out, a year ago, Lucas had introduced Marco and his team to a client who wanted a Mercedes GLE AMG 63S for $340,000. Marco's team bought the car with their own money. The client paid a 10,000 euro deposit, but then the euro exchange rate spiked. The client got angry, demanded a $3,600 discount, and after being refused, took back his 10,000 and bought the car at a dealership. Marco and Lorenzo are left with $240,000 frozen and blamed Lucas, even though he was just the middleman. Now they demand 40,000 euros for the supposed losses. Lucas is shocked. "Guys, this is nonsense. I put $400,000 into the Porsche. The car's with your people. What's this $40,000 amount? Let's close the deal, then we'll sort it out. But Lorenzo is adamant. No 40,000 euros in USDT to our crypto wallet, no Porsche. And just as luck would have it, Antonio sends message, sorry, I'm not buying the car anymore. Keep the deposit. Lukas is in panic. His $400,000 are tied up in the car, the client has disappeared, and the people he's been working with are now blackmailing him. He remembers that Antonio had boasted about his connections in Brussels and decides to reach out, saying, you said you have high-level people there. Help me deal with these guys. They're not giving me the car. Antonio enthusiastically replies, no worries, Lukas. We'll sort this out. A couple of days later, Lorenzo calls, yelling, what have you done? There was almost a SWAT team here. Someone got arrested. The car has been taken. Forget our number, Lukas. You set us up. Lukas, frantic, asks, where's my Porsche? And Antonio responds, relax, we've sorted it out. We've taken the car to return it to you. But for the service, 40,000 euros in USDT. Lukas feels deja vu. Again, 40,000 euros. Again, the crypto wallet. Too many coincidences. Antonio sends a video, the Porsche on a tow truck at a Shell gas station. Lukas wastes no time, gathers some friends, and rushes to Brussels. In the video, there's a yellow fence, 2 trucks, and a familiar gas station. They scour the highway from Paris to Brussels, and at the 39th kilometer, find the exact gas station. They check the security cameras. Yes, the Porsche was there a few hours ago. And then luck strikes. One of the cameras records the tow truck's license plate. Lukas looks and realizes he's seen that tow truck before. It belongs to Marco and Lorenzo's people. Moreover, the driver's phone number matches Marco's number. And then the puzzle pieces fall into place. Lukas suspects that there was never an Antonio Fmittery. Everything from the call on the Italian number to the fixes in Brussels was performance to trick him out of his $400,000. The 24,000 euro deposit probably just moved from one pocket to another. Marco and Lorenzo fulfilled their part of the contract, then staged the whole fixer and stolen Porsche drama to extract another 40,000 euros. The car, it seems, is still with them, but Lukas is left without his money and without the car. Now, Lukas is preparing reports for the police in Paris, Brussels, and even the Belgian tax authorities. He wants to put pressure on the German company that exported the sanctioned car. They don't like these schemes. If his version is confirmed, Marco, Lorenzo, and their drops could face serious consequences. This story is murky, but Lukas has provided documents, messages, and videos, and if everything goes the way he says, this is a Kazakh scam. Moral? Friends' money ruins even the warmest partnerships. When someone feels they're earning less and working harder, resentments build up, and a theater like this can unfold. Lukas lost $400,000, and this is a lesson for all of us. Always check the people you work with and stay alert. And if you have similar stories, share them. We'll figure it out together.